Hi everyone, I'm Mona and I'm daughter of Kiran Chaudhary. Today is second day of reading Geeta. So yesterday I read the importance of Geeta, where it says that it can be read by anyone. The only qualification you need is your devotion. Okay, and today I'm going to read the principal teaching of the Gita. So I'll start. For his own realization, God has laid down in the Gita two principal ways. Okay, I'll repeat. For his own realization, God has laid down in the Gita two principal ways. First, Sankhya Yoga, and second, Karma Yoga. For these, first, all objects being unreal like the water in a mirage, or the creation of the dream, gunas, which are the products of Maya, move in the gunas. Understanding this, the sense of doership should be lost with regard to all the activities of the mind, senses, and the body. Chapter 5, verses 8 and 9. And being established ever in the identity with all pervading God, the embodiment of truth, knowledge, and bliss. Consciousness should be lost of the existence of any other being but God. This is the practice of Sankhya Yoga. Now, second, Karma Yoga, regarding everything as belonging to God, maintaining equanimity in success or failure, renouncing attachment and the desire for fruit. All work should be done according to God's behests and only for the sake of God. Chapter 2, verse 48, chapter 5, verse 10. And with utmost faith and reverence, surrendering oneself to God through mind, speech, and body, constant meditations on God's form with remembrance of His names, virtues, and glories should be practiced. Chapter 6, verse 47. This is the practice of yoga by disinterested action. The result of both these practices being the same, they are regarded as one in reality, chapter 5, verses 4 and 5. But during the period of practice, they being different according to the qualifications of the sadhaka. The two paths have been separately described. Therefore, the same man cannot trade both the path at one and the same time. Okay, so you have to follow one path at a time. You cannot follow both paths at the same time. Okay, so therefore, the same man cannot tread both paths at one and the same time, even as though there may be two roads to the Gangas. A person cannot proceed by both the paths at the same time. One of these, karma yoga, cannot be practiced in the stage of sannyas. Okay, so karma means your work, okay, your duty. So karma yoga cannot be practiced in the state of sannyas. Sannyas is when you leave the uh, desire, okay, and follow the path of monk. For in that state, renunciations of karma in every form has been advised. The practice of Sankhya Yoga, however, is possible in every ashram or stage of life. If it is argued that the Lord has described Sankhya Yoga as synonymous with sannyas, therefore sannyasis or monks alone are entitled to practice it and not householder. Okay, so Sankhya Yoga, sannyas, can only be practiced by monks and not householder. The argument is untenable because in the course of his descriptions of Sankhya Yoga in chapter 2, verses 11 to 30, the Lord here and there showed to Arjun that he was qualified to fight, even according to that standard. If householder were ever disqualified for Sankhya Yoga, how could this statement of the Lord be reconciled? True, there is this special saving clause that the sadhaka qualified for the path of Sankhya should be devoid of identification with the body. For so long as there is identifications of the ego with the body, the practice of Sankhya Yoga cannot be properly understood. That is why the Lord described the practice of Sankhya Yoga as difficult. Chapter 5, verse 6, and disinterested Karma Yoga being easier of practice. The Lord exhorted Arjun every now and then to practice it together with constant meditations on him. Now, here we have Sanskrit slogan and then we will do the translation. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divya Stve Verde Sangpad Kramopanish Dargayanti Yam Samga Dhanyavasthi Dhanyavasthit Taganten Mansa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidu surasur gana Davya Tasme Nama. Now the translation is, we bow to that Supreme Purush Narayana, who is extolled even by the great gods like Brahma, Varuna, the god of water, Indra, the god of rain, Rudra, the god of destructions, and the Maruts, the wind god, through celestial hymns whose glories are sung by those proficient in chanting the Samved through the Vedas along with 6 Angas. And what is Angas? It's a branches of knowledge auxiliary to the Vedas. Now, Pada, divisions of the Vedic text into the separate words, Karma and Jata, particular forms of reciting the Vedas, and Upanishads, who is perceived by the yogis by mean of their mind made steady through meditations and fixed on the Lord, and whose reality is not even to gods and asuras. Now here we have Sanskrit once more and then we will do the translation. Shantikaram Bhujangshanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagan Sadrisham Meghvarsham Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalnayanam Yogibindra Nagabyam Vande Vishnu Bhavbhayharam Sarvaloke Kanatham. It means obeisance to Vishnu, the dispeller of the fear of rebirth, the one Lord of all the regions, possessed of a tranquil form, lying on a bed of snake, for whose navel has sprung the lotus, the Lord of all the celestials, the support of the universe, similar to the sky, possessed of the color of a cloud and possessed of handsome limbs, the Lord of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, having lotus like eyes and realized by yogis in meditation. So, this is the principal teaching of Gita. Okay, we are done for the day about the principal teaching of the Gita. And now we have synopsis of the Gita. Okay, from tomorrow we'll start the Gita from chapter 1, where the title is The Yoga of Dejections of Arjun, and there is like subtitle description of the principal warrior on both sides with their fighting equalities, blowing the conches by the warriors on both sides. Arjuna observes the warrior drawn up for battle, and overwhelmed by the infatuations, Arjuna gives expression to his faint-heartedness, tenderness, and grief. So this is the synopsis. Okay, and tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, we will start the Gita stories. Okay, and we have the chapter wise, and I'm going to read the we have both in Sanskrit and English. Okay, so I'm not going to read the Sanskrit because it's for international viewers. Okay, and they will not understand Sanskrit anyway, so I will read just the English translation. So from tomorrow we will start with the Gita story. Okay. Okay, friends, I'll take my leave for today, and from tomorrow let's start the Gita main story. Bye bye.